Howdy folks, this is Jonathan, your GM. You're listening to Demon Days, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. Got a few updates for you, but first I want to give a shout out to our sponsor ArcKnight, whose props, maps, and minis make our game a delight. That's ARCKNIGHT. Also want to give a shout out to Gord McAlpin, who did the artwork for our show, as well as Kilowatt, who created some absolutely amazing portraits of our horny heroes. You can find her work over on Twitter at kilowatt_art and on Instagram at thebibliotaph.blog. I'll make sure to put all the links in the show notes so you can look at all the great art. We've got 2 more episodes in the can after today, and after that we'll be taking Christmas and New Year's off, as well as the beginning of January to rest and recuperate. Got some big story stuff coming down the pipeline, and that takes some preparation, not to mention getting our schedules back in sync after the holidays. Tabletop role-playing, am I right? Next, my pal Bryan has been feeling like absolute butt this past week, so I'm going to fill in as the narrator at the beginning and end of this episode. I'll let you be the judge if I come anywhere close to the brilliant voice work he pulls off as Federico Tiffany Magma VI, our storyteller and resident bullywug. And finally, I want to give a big shout out to Andrew Staton, Tony Dane, Johnny Recher, and Samantha Garrison. You guys bring a life to this homebrew campaign that gives me all the warm fuzzies. Thank you for your badass role-playing. It has been an absolute treat to be your GM. And now, on with the show. Friends, fiends, you caught me at a good time. I'm sufficiently sauced and ready to tell you more of my tale. When last we spoke, the party was attacked by mutated trees and trolls that had some icky black liquid all over them. Ew. They managed to win the day without too much damage. Well, Feder didn't get too much damage, which is surprising because he was fighting in the buff. Like, not even a splinter. Anyway, hand me all the drink you have and I'll tell you what's in store for our heroes in these Demon Days. Alright, so then you give the round to Skoyle. She's bleeding quite a bit. And she's going to go for her 2 shots against it.
At disadvantage, right?
No, she's at advantage. I'm flanking.
Yeah, she's flanking.
Well, then that would negate it to...
Unless she's standing next to it.
Because she's standing. She's in range.
Oh, I see.
So, given that there's a chance to miss, she takes both arrows and knocks them into the arrow right against the troll's face, blasts them through. But not before saying duck. Like, so you duck and the arrows go completely through the thing. The troll falls down and dies.
Thunk.
And just the goo spreads out from its head hole. And that ends the combat.
Its head hole.
Right, so I like go to reach for any of my stuff. Apparently I'm completely naked. Anyone have any fire?
Apparently?
We should... Yeah, I don't know. But like, we
really?
should... Yeah, but we should... We should burn the pools of black shit, maybe? I don't know.
I take another one of my torches.
I'm going to put my moonbeam over one of the black pools, see what it does.
Oh, yeah.
Radiant damage.
Takes it away.
Neat. I've got this bitch for 10 minutes because it's only been a couple of rounds. I'm going to eradicate this area for as long as I can.
Cool.
Just like mow the grass?
Yeah, exactly.
Mow the
Just
grass.
spiritually mow the grass?
Yeah.
Keep going. I need to check something.
Okay. So you're still doing that. You're spiritually mowing the grass?
That's what I'm doing. That's what I am doing.
Yeah. You get at least this half of the sheet pretty much done.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That and by around the 8-minute mark. So then you could do a little bit more of the other side, but there's a lot of ichor on the other side towards your living quarters. It's just been chilling. So you can do a little bit, but
I'm gonna go through. Like I'm at least gonna get the front of the house.
Sure, yeah.
You should make like a sleeping area for us. Yeah.
Just like
or not like a sleeping, but like a cozy little corner.
Just the spiritual MRI that's just like nang, 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 just over the front yard, yeah. Now, Lisa, I mean, I do really like, I don't mind the confines of the suit, but now that I can really get this monk shit, right? And I feel so free.
Yeah.
I can move really easily.
Like, if I didn't have my clothes on, it wouldn't have made a difference in this fight.
Yeah. Right on.
Except that I'm really pale and it might have blinded you guys.
Well,
You know. But you're not.
no,
Yeah.
just hiding in the shadows.
Scoil turns and looks weakly. Yeah, it's freeing.
And I imagine I am fully Captain Morganing, like on the side of the well when I'm saying this. Like,
I am
Dingle dangle.
I am gonna take 1 round. I'll go over to who is anybody else damaged?
I have only 9 hit points left.
Yeah, Scoil's got about 6. She's got 9, but
I mean,
Scoil's got stuff to at least get her till the...
you can top me off, but all rightish, you know.
What's your total?
45.
And you're at 9. Mm-hmm. Oy, okay.
I took a beating. I was...
Okay.
Well, we're gonna
How far down are you?
we're gonna relax. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hang out.
Yeah,
for a
we're gonna
minute.
hang out for a minute. How far down are you?
7.
Like you have 7 left or you lost 7?
I lost 7.
Oh, fuck you.
Uncanny dodge.
Okay, you're fine for right now. How bad is Scoil?
All right.
She's got about 6 hit points, so she's got a really bad gash across the front. And it's stained mostly down to her like thighs, just in terms of how much blood she's lost. She's
Okay. I'm gonna dump 15 into her,
okay.
and then you get back 5.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Sorry. Say that again. You're down. You have 9 left
Yeah.
out of 40.
45.
Hell. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna put 10 into her, 10 into Lesa, and then
Thank you.
Cool.
As Feder was doing his whole, I understand this monk stuff and being awkward and everything like that prior
Awkward?
to
What do you mean awkward?
prior to Yusuf walking over, I am walking to my poor Shanzo Ban. I'm walking over to Ban and make my sword go away in the process, and then I just kind of kneel down and I like bury my hands into like the fur around his neck, and like kind of give him a hug and like put my forehead on his forehead and like whisper softly like thank you.
Yeah, it purrs a bit weakly because it's been pretty damaged, but it reciprocates and does a low raspy growl.
Tell him like thank you. You should go rest.
Okay.
And then I like
send him home.
yeah, I say you should rest.
And as you're holding him, he's just not there anymore, and you find the space empty.
Oh, I was totally imagining like Avengers, the dust into the wind.
Dust in the wind. Okay, so 5, 10 to you, 10 to Scoil.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 rounds of that, and I'm doing the rest of this shit.
Cool, yeah. And Scoil looks a lot better. I mean, her whole front is just a bloody mess, but the wounds have healed a bit more, and she's not looking quite so worse for wear. Bit more bruising in the face, though, you see, which she takes it in stride. So, there's a few more hours left. I think I'm going to find a place, sit down, and rest up.
I say the well's nice because that's where I started the.
Oh,
It was
okay.
kind of spiraled out of that. So like, if you want to put your back up against that, it should be good.
She does. Sighs, closes her eyes, and leans back against it. And then just...
So back to bed then? Yeah.
Yes.
I will stay up,
Okay.
continuing to mow the lawn.
Got it. Skull wakes up halfway through and gives you some lemonade. Spiritual lemonade. No, just kidding. But interesting that I say that. As you're doing this and cleansing this area, more or less, you sense, like, you feel really good about it. There's a good feeling that you get partway through. And as you clear away the ichor from the area, you have you taken any damage?
Yeah, I took 11 points.
It's all healed back. You sense a rejuvenation.
Neat.
And you hear a whisper, thanks.
Thanks, Boo.
I got you.
Neat. Yay, selfless act. I didn't heal myself.
So then, like, just it doesn't really matter because I can heal up these 2 hit points some other way. But when does the long rest trigger? Like when we wake up again, or had it already happened before?
I would say once you guys wake up, the cumulative
Okay.
Oh,
I usually just treat
we
it as
still do get a long rest.
yeah,
Okay.
because technically, let's see, it's about 6-ish hour. Like you really only need about 6 to 8, and usually, since it was at the very end, you technically got most of it already, and then you went back to bed. As long as you go back and see out the rest of your sleep, I figure cumulatively you're fine.
Okay.
Not gonna complain.
Yeah.
No. I mean, as a parent, I do a lot of like cumulative calculations for sleep. It's like, well, I got most of sleep, so I'm mostly good. So I'm gonna count it.
As a parent, I'm fine with
I
this.
slept for half an hour on the couch, so
I think too, if the ground's been cleared up, Lacey will probably just go chill like on the ground. It's a little
Yeah.
softer than sleeping on the wood.
So yeah, you're pretty much close to
Sets up her cot with like near Scoil, and it's just like
yeah, you're next to Scoil. She leans against you. Just there's another body there. She's like, oh, this is nice. And
we just saw some shit together, and I just saved her from a troll.
she sighs. The way you moved was pretty nice.
Glad I could help. That was pretty scary.
I was pretty close there. Looks like you were pretty close too.
just doing that thing where not at all to impugn the good name of my lovely lady husband, but we have a king size comforter on a queen size bed. Somehow she still ends up with all of it. So Fetter's like kind
I know
of
exactly what you
wrapped
mean.
himself into a burrito.
It's a good thing.
right.
It's
On
a
the
good
floor.
thing I have. Well, I mean, I bought the extra.
Yeah.
Extra
I mean, you can
sized.
fight your way in here. It's just going to take some doing, I think, because I am out.
The single best
Done.
piece of relationship advice I ever received was to always have two comforters on your bed.
See, I used to do the king comforter on the queen bed, but now we have a king, so and there's nothing larger than a king.
What are you looking for, Drew?
I thought there's a spell or something if you're, maybe it's a cleric thing, I don't know, but I thought there was a way to,
What, consecrate?
yeah, like hallow something. I thought you
Hallowed
could do
ground?
like basic rites for.
What's it called in 5e? Is it called bless?
No, it's not bless. It's like there's things you can do, like you can perform
Or
you
ceremony?
can perform weddings. You can
Yeah.
do what the hell is
And
that?
consecrate ground?
Consecrate?
No,
Hallucinatory terrain?
I mean depending on what you're going for. Is it ceremony?
Yeah, I think it's ceremony. Look up ceremony. It's a ritual cast.
Ceremony's not a thing.
Perform a ritual ceremony that is infused with magic. When you cast a spell, choose one of the following rites: atonement, blessed water, coming of age, dedication, funeral rite,
that's it.
wedding.
So it is ceremony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the hell is that? I thought I had that.
Oh, it's a spell. It's in Xanathar's here.
Oh.
Got it. That's why. The app I'm using doesn't delineate between them, but
Yeah,
I figured it
no.
was something that wasn't in.
No, I thought I had. Oh, that's right. I took it off because son of a bitch.
Oh,
I don't have it because I remanaged my spells so that I had stuff for combat.
Got it,
mainly
got
because
it.
we're going to be in here. But
okay.
I was gonna consecrate this ground since I had already cleared it off, so that it couldn't be.
Retaken.
Yeah, motherfucker.
But
yeah, it's
I
right
mean,
there.
did you haven't taken ritual casting as a feat, have you? Or can you just cast that as a ritual anyway, as a class feature?
Well, is it something that you can change after your long rest? Like,
Yeah, it's just it's one of the spells that I have as a paladin. I don't need ritual casting allows you to cast something as a ritual instead of just casting the spell. So it takes like 10 minutes,
10
but it
minutes plus
doesn't
the casting.
use up
Doesn't use
a
up your
spell
slot,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have it right now.
Okay.
I did have it earlier, but I changed because we were going into the swamp. Okay.
all right, cool.
You can change it in the morning.
As I
true.
probably would have been walking in with Vetter before he curled up in as a burrito, I would have been talking to him about the importance of not sleeping naked while you're out in the wilderness.
All right, how does that go?
But I mean,
I mean, that's pretty much it.
listen. As far as I can tell, that went fine. So, I mean, don't you but you need some night air. I mean, I sweat a little. I'm sorry about that too, but sometimes I sweat in my sleep. And then then you prestidigitate before you go to bed, then you have to do it again after, you know what I mean? And I just don't, it's I know swamp nuts is a thing, but we're literally in a swamp.
It's fine when you're in town. Like sleeping naked when you are in town is wonderful. However, when you're out in the wilderness, you never know what kind of snake is going to come up. Like, it could recognize another snake and come after you. Like,
I hung my suit up on a bit of like old rubble. I pressed it out. Like, it looks good. Like, I'm going to wake up in the morning, feel good, put it on, ready for the day. You know what I mean? No?
if it's what you want to do, I'm just saying.
Like, it feels nice. Like, I rub up against your butt a little, and it's like, it's comfy. We got this nice big blanket.
Except for when I have holes that bugs can crawl into, so I like to keep those covered up.
Well, I've got a non-zero amount of holes. You know what I mean?
Sorry, what are we talking about in there?
Nothing.
Okay.
Don't sleep naked.
Yeah, no kidding.
But also, I don't know. I mean, he didn't have his breastplate on. What's the difference?
That's not naked. I still had a shirt and pants on.
So, I mean, really, it's kind of all just like a furry blur down there. You know, it's like...
Actually, you know what? It's fine because this spell doesn't even do what I wanted it to do anyway, so I'm glad I don't have
There's
it.
no guarantee we're always going to have solid ground, so...
Right, well, I mean, look, we have solid ground.
Then,
like,
I mean, if you want to have, like, chocolate in the butt cheeks...
Oh.
Ah! Why?
Okay.
I mean...
That's what the day passes, isn't it?
Jeez.
No, I'm just saying, look, yes, okay, fine. It can be a
Mud,
situational...
guys, mud.
It can be like a situational... You know, I'm not going to just do it when, like, all the time.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's just...
Right. Well, look, we had a little house. We scouted it out.
I know the wilderness is not your cup of tea, and this is something that I've spent a lot of years in.
Okay, well, noted. How about that? What about just the unders? No?
Hey, I'm all for you, Captain Morganing. If you want to go back and do that on the well.
No, we're sleeping there.
Scoyle's like, no, please.
Just like, just Halo 1 multiplayer style. No, I'm sorry. No. Okay, fine. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens where we end up tonight.
I'm just glad the shrapnel didn't get any fleshy bits.
Oh, no, that would have been bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been, splinters.
And with that sobering thought, the night comes to a close and dawn breaks, although it's more of like the dark clouds and the dark fog gets a little lighter, and it's a light gray.
So, long rest, yeah?
Yep, long rest.
Well, I'm looking into my, like, ever-decreasing bag of coffee, and I'm like, and coffee, anyone? Sorry, I'm trying to ration a bit, but...
I'm good
it's
for right
all
now,
you,
thank
better.
you.
All right, great. And I'll stoke up the fire and
Cool. Yeah.
brew up a cup. Scoil?
Yeah, let me give that thing a try. I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
I could sure use it, and we've got a little bit more to go before we get there. Mm-hmm. And that's going to feel worse than the other path because we're already tired and we've been through a lot. The last leg of a journey is always the toughest. How long does that coffee thing take?
Oh, not too long. I'm just
good.
gonna percolate it and just putting the whole suit on. A little
She
pauldron.
stretches, kind of groans with soreness. Like that did not feel good. I feel better, but thanks for the heal, Yusuf.
Yeah.
Thanks for the stream to wake us up.
So
Yeah, well, anytime I get bludgeoned, I'll give a shout.
I'm just gonna, for my own, just a whole, like, I'm gonna check the watch. I know it's still spinning. I'm gonna sigh, pull a journal out, just write down Darkfall 13 because I have to keep kind of track of the passage of time.
Yeah.
And I'm also just gonna check the other journal to see if anyone responded to that last message.
Nope, you don't see that there's been any response. And you don't see necessarily that the message has been received either. Normally, when you've written something in there in the book, it imprints. I don't know how best to explain it. It doesn't like burn into it. It just sets and hardens. But you sense the ink as if you'd just written it. So, if this were a cell phone, the message has not been delivered yet.
Right. I'll pull Taslin aside. And to be like, hey, can we chat for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm sure you've figured this out. This is my journal, right? Mm-hmm. And I can communicate back home to this, with this. And
I had a little inkling.
yeah.
Interesting.
So I tried to get a message to my mom, and it's not going through. and I'm sorry, I'm just, with the tower and everything, I'm just kind of freaked out. Can you, like, do your thing or whatever on this and see, like, is it being blocked, or is it, like, this never happens, like, I just going into the tower thing, I'd feel a lot better if I knew what the fuck was going on.
I can try. I don't know entirely how much I can help. I know necessarily...
it's a magic book. You know what I mean? Like I don't know much about this shit. You do a little bit more than I do, but
okay.
Is there like a block on it or a thing, or like I know you like curse things? Is someone cursed stuff?
I can try something. Would you mind?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the journal from him.
Okay.
And the hand that has the mark from the Morgan, I'm gonna kind of lay on the journal.
Okay.
And attempt to, through the mark, kind of be like, ask her like, hi, so it's me, and this is all in my head. Hi, so it's me. I need to find out, is this journal communication device thingy working? Is Fetter's mom is like not responding and he's really worried and I'm trying to help him out. Could you help a chosen one out? That would be really great. I know this might not, I know you probably can't hear me. Oh God, what am I doing? Let me just look really intense, like I'm reading something, and maybe Fetter won't. Yeah, let's do that. Hello, is this mic on? Hi. Hello.
You sit there, kind of doing that. Is this mic on? Hello, tap tap, testing 1 2, for maybe 10 minutes. You give it a good solid 10 minutes, and right about 9:59, you see something like, I'm not sure if you're going crazy, but a weird faint red tether on the book itself that seems to pulse, like, like, like it's alive, like it's living, like it's connected. You sense a connection, an unbroken connection. It's hard to explain, and you're the only one who can see this, but it's a slight thumb, like a almost like a little wave. A little wave of a tether that just sticks out the book and goes off to God knows where.
Spader knows where.
You kind of see me do like a little teeny tiny hop from one foot to the other, like almost like a little glee thing, like, oh yeah, it's worked, or but still my eyes are closed, and so I see that line and I'm like, oh cool, thank you, super appreciate the little bits of help. Do you know anything about his mom? Like, you could.
You give it
really,
another
really
10.
worried.
You give it another 10 and no other response other than just that tether. And eventually that thing fades. Okay. Like your vision of it fades, but
so I like open my eyes and I'm like, sorry that took kind of long. I tried a bunch of really cool stuff. And the journal's fine. Like there's no blockage, there's nothing. It seems like everything is still connected, but I couldn't really find anything out about your mom. I'm really sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to take the journal back then. I am going to in the infernal cipher, I'm going to write tower couldn't access tower heading back to Edgewater.
okay.
And then I'm just going to see if that actually goes through. And I'll just put the journal away. And
Before you do, that message sets.
Okay. Oh, this is bad. This is not good. Yeah, okay. Adventure, great. Tower, let's go. Who's excited?
Wait, what's going on?
Right, so, it's hard to explain. This communication, it's kind of what we'd like to call in DIS like a family plan. No. Shared minutes, but with the time zones, it's a real pain in the ass. No, sorry. We'll be back in the... So, all of the agents of the family, the Zavan family, carry these. And they report back not only to the one person who necessarily sent you on the mission, but all of the sisters can see how things are going and track them and respond. So it's...
And essentially your family?
Yes, the whole family now. My mother and I, for various reasons, have found ways to circumvent that communication so I can send messages directly to her, should we need to communicate privately. For some reason, she's not getting my messages. And I honestly, the last few responses don't... Usually they're either monogrammed or by who, initialed whoever, which of the sisters is responding, just so you can kind of tell. Or the voice, the writing style kind of gives it away. The last few responses have been terse, if there's responses at all. Something's wrong. I'm trying to shake it, I'm trying to focus, but something's really wrong. I feel it.
I don't know if this will make sense to you or not, but the line, whatever connects this to the other people, it was working and it was still sending, like it was pulsing, but it was red. I'm not sure if there's any other colors. I'm not sure if that says that it's...
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Taslin, as far as you know, that's just how it visualized itself for you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have any meaning to it.
I mean, it could be a
Yeah.
stoplight, like red is broken, red is stop. I don't know. But that's kind of like...
No, I was able to get something through. I can kind of tell when it goes. So someone's just trying to keep me from talking to my mom, which is
Okay.
not great. So, but whatever. No, coffee, marching, tower. Yes, let's...
Scoyle's right there.
Let's
reaching
go.
for the coffee.
Yeah.
Hit this sister up.
Here you go.
She takes a sip. It's like her face just closes in on itself for a minute in terms of just the bitterness. And then nods. I get it. And then downs the whole thing.
Yeah, puts a little pep in you. Oh, yeah, well, okay. To each their own, I suppose.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Good.
Shall we? Everybody good? Yeah?
Yeah, let's break this stuff down. And yeah, you guys start to break down the camp with Scoyle's help. It goes by quickly. She retrieves each of her wooden poles, detaching the top rock and sliding them back into her quiver. They disappear from view, just right in there. Next, she takes a few minutes to remove evidence of your time there, and then motions for you all to follow after you've all got your things and set up. And you continue your journey. As you head through the shattered lands, through the low marshes, the trees and foliage start to appear again, getting thicker as you progress. The fog still sits heavy on the land, and you see Scoyle hard at work navigating the route ahead. At a certain point, the trees get so thick that you find yourselves climbing and pushing through where you can. Scoyle climbs to the top of one of the nearby trees at intervals to get her bearing, and then comes back down and guides you forward. Your muscles just ache despite the rest you got. Just a combination of the cold, the wet, even the rest, your muscles and your tendons are just crying out as you're pushing through this dense vegetation. You're just about to reach a breaking point of this bullshit when Scoyle whoops with glee and motions for you to follow. With effort, you push through a particularly thick brush and find yourselves in a clearing, and can make out immediately a dark shape of a large tower ahead, although the fog obscures the details. At first blush, it's massive. You reach the structure and notice that it's made of a black stone-like material, and the whole structure is circular. You look up to see the building reach into the sky above and disappear into the fog. There's no telling how high this thing goes. There are no doors or windows of any kind marking the smooth, blackened stone surface. The air around you is thick and foul-smelling, and it takes all you have not to gag. You hear a few retches from Scoyle before she lies down on the ground off to the side and closes her eyes. I need a minute.
Okay. I'm just gonna light up a cigarette and just to keep that something in your nose that isn't
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Gross.
You're not too
make
bothered.
the motion. Like, can you give me one of those?
Yeah, sure. I'll roll you one with some paper and.
I take out some of the bug stuff.
Okay.
Rub it on me again, but I put some right here under my lip
Got it. Okay.
or under my nose.
Yeah, I'll guess I'll.
Very much like Vicks.
Yeah.
I'll bug it up too.
Same.
Yeah, the smell is just awful.
Does it smell like death or rot or
Rot.
both?
Yeah, a lot of rot, different kinds of rot, vegetation rot,
Like a bog.
but also human rot. You smell flesh rot as well. It's just all of the smells, just nice and percolating here in this area.
While we were making our walk around the tower, can I do a
Investigation.
yeah, but specifically, with a rogue inquisitive's eye for detail, in which I could try to discover clues or hidden objects.
If you were to say, tell me what to look for, I could help you and give you advantage.
Okay, well, we're obviously trying to get in, so doors, glyphs.
I can help too. I'm proficient in investigation.
So as you guys are doing this,
I am as well, but
Yeah.
I figure I'd rather like...
It's one help action, right? So
Yeah.
I'll roll once with advantage.
sure.
Just quickly, by the way, Taslin is still off-put, but not as bothered by the smell, if anybody takes note of that. A little bit more used to it.
Now, Squirrel loses some of that coffee she downed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it goes. That stuff is... Never mind. 21.
21. And you're going up to the tower. You're just investigating around the area.
Well, yeah, you said we'd kind of made a lap, right?
Yeah.
So as we're going, I'm like trying to look in the first probably 20 feet,
Yeah.
like something we could reach for.
helping him like digging through the dirt and stuff, like poking, kicking things over.
Yeah, you kind of you eye the top parts, looking for ledges or ramparts or anything. Nothing. For being old-looking black stone, it's all pretty smooth and sheer. You do notice you feel a little weird though as you get closer to the structure. As you approach, get maybe let's say about 5 feet close to it, you feel a warm sensation in your body that generally spreads throughout your body, but is focused where you're facing the tower. You feel the blood rush to your face. You start to blush more. Your skin
And is
reddens.
that at one specific spot, or is that anywhere?
It's everywhere that's facing the tower.
Anytime I face the tower.
Yeah.
I
So
feel that.
you to test it, you could turn around and then your back feels that
warm.
warmth. Your front does not.
Do we all feel that way?
Whoever's like that.
I
within
will.
that 5
I'll
feet.
Well, and I'm also going up to the tower to kind of see if I notice like any things that might be a little bit more to the arcane trained eye sigils versus
Okay.
somebody that doesn't know.
Sure.
24.
You don't see any sigils or anything burned in or anything hidden. But again, as you like the others, as you get close to it, and you probably, I'm assuming with this, you're getting a little bit closer than the 5 feet. You're right up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can pretty much put my hand on it.
Yeah. As you put your hand on it, all the blood seems to go to your hand, and your hand gets really hot.
All right. Well,
And you let go, and it lessens.
I've got a dagger out and my palm up, and I'm
Wait,
like,
let me grab the circle, the tool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if is it doing like...
Yeah. Well, let's hold it up and see.
Has she communicated that to you guys yet?
I've been with Feder, like
Okay.
helping him this whole time.
Yeah.
So we're all both like kind of touching it.
I'm actually going to take out one of the daggers from my boot
Okay.
and cut my hand a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it on the stone.
I like to think that around the tower, like the other side, that I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And we just both like.
bam.
And I was like, what is that? Hold the machine up, see what it does.
So I've got the
So-
machine out.
Taslin, you cut your hand and it starts to bleed, and your hand goes through the wall. Do you keep going forward, or do you just...
They might hear me go, okay, yes. And then I keep going.
You go in, and you get enveloped by the wall, and you hear a pop as she's in.
Taz, I think if you cut your hand and hold it up, I think that's the way. Taz?
She's gone. Squirrel sits up. What the fuck?
Oh no, she's already in. We gotta go. Squirrel, what's your deal here? I think we can get into this thing. Don't know if you can. So are you gonna hang out here or?
Well, here. I mean, don't be mean about it. She's like, oh wait, I have a knife. Cuts herself, puts her hand on it, nothing happens.
Okay, well, it looks like you're staying here. You gonna be okay?
I guess so. Yeah. Don't be long.
Yusuf, we gotta go.
I walk over to Scoil and I'm like, put a small cut on my hand. Give me your other hand.
She gives you her other hand.
Can't.
I put some blood on her hand. Try it now.
Once I get inside, just really quick,
Yeah.
I like turn around, realizing I'm inside. I do like a little like yes, and then I turn around and I attempt to go back out. Do I just hit wall or do I slightly go back through again?
Did you give yourself a very big cut?
It was like essentially, you know how it's like blood sacrifice, not like
Right.
super deep, but
Waste
enough to like cut the entirety of the palm.
You may need to get a little bit more blood out because
Yusuf,
it's not as strong. So,
Okay.
Yusuf, we gotta go.
Yeah,
So
Squirrel,
I-
I know.
First, Yusuf, she puts her hand through, and at first you think it's not going to work, and then she's like, "This is stupid. I'm going to lean against it," and she falls in.
Okay.
All right, going. Foof,
through.
Ding, and then I'm
one of your knives?
gone.
Is this you?
Right as I like pop halfway back out, being like, "Hey guys, oh hi," we're all like halfway through the stone. Like I'll just and Squale just like goes falling through, and I'm like, "I'll be in here."
I have some darts in my bag, so I just like stab my hand.
Stab her hand a bunch of times. That works.
I don't carry knives, you guys.
You go through, and so for all of you, including Squale, who went through, entering the tower felt something like passing under a waterfall of molasses, only 5 feet thicker than you might expect. So it felt like you're walking through a more liquidy substance. But then once you get past, a little bit of a force pushes you through, like as if the wall gets solid again for you. You pop through the other side with a bit of a shove and find yourself as dry as you were from the outside. So walking through whatever this substance wasn't liquid, it just felt that way. Immediately you're greeted with a musty smell, as if this place hasn't been occupied for quite some time. The first thing you notice is a faint click, 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 coming from the walls, which are nothing but a network of gears and wheels of all shapes and sizes. The ground beneath you is pure bronze, with a complicated geometric design etched into every inch. In the center of this room is a pure black column, surrounded in a layer of glass that extends up as far as your eye can see. At the base of this column is a strange-looking console on which sits a mechanical keypad. The keys are all arranged vertically, and on them are etched numbers in Infernal, starting from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You notice that the bottom key, number 1, is currently depressed. Scoil looks around and again says, "What the fuck?"
Welcome to the big giant mystery in the center of your civilization. Now, does this mechanically look like the ritual site? Like,
This doesn't. Like, it doesn't register that it looks the same.
Does
If anything, maybe the column in the middle seems like of a similar make, although it's encased in glass, so you can't really tell. But this room itself doesn't feel like an altar or anything. It just looks like a basic nexus of sorts.
Okay, so I've got the little mechanical ball. I've got it out, and it's got like etchings and engravings, right? That kind of match what's going on around us.
Yeah.
Do those etchings or engravings mean anything to me? Are they in a language, or is it more like
There's no language, but the design,
measurements? Or
the etchings match what's on the floor in terms of their complicated lines and angles, and like the equivalent, I guess, of what the floor looks like is a bronze circuit board of just circuits and various like sharp lines and angles, and that reflects in that orb that you have. And then some of the broken clockwork pieces in there resemble what you see on the wall. So there's a very similarity between it, just that's a much smaller scale.
it looks the same, guys.
Does
Isn't
this
that cool?
look like what are the deep gnomes called? Simberfiend?
Zverfneblin.
Sverfneblin, that's it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like anything of their design. Looks more, from your research and all that, looks more modern in design, though.
Okay.
I pop over Lisa's shoulder and I'm like, huh, look at that. I'm going to do some arcana.
Arcana.
That is another 24.
And you're trying to determine...
Just trying to determine like the symbols, what they might mean, how the orb and having the same thing might be similar to the wall. How they might connect.
It's more of a theming thing. So the inside, some of the clockwork gears and all that match what you see on the wall, even though those are broken. But all the lines and the etchings on there match that circuit board design that is the bronze ground. So it looks like you're walking all over a circuit board of various lines and geometric shapes. This all looks very mechanical in a way that you haven't seen ever.
I wonder if this fits somewhere. It might be a key.
How does the... Sorry, I'm doing Onyx Tower stuff. How do you traverse between the floors in the Zavan family tower? Because I'm like, you see Feder is just like looking at the control panel and his finger is slowly going for the 4.
I smack it away.
Okay.
So for at home, you have
7 floors.
7 floors. This looks familiar in that sort of way. You have a lift that is similarly mechanical in design.
Right.
Almost, you think back. Not quite exactly like that, but similar principles. There are buttons, although in your case more like levers.
Right.
That can guide you between your floors. You found it nice and dis, never saw anything like that on the material plane.
Right.
Sorry, I just don't think maybe we should touch things. Let's,
No, this is a lift.
Shh. Do you know that?
Don't shush me. This is a goddamn lift.
How do you know?
Because we have one of these at home.
Does it look like this?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It has little buttons?
No, we have levers.
Well, that's different, isn't it? I am going to...
4.
No! No!
Tashlin was on Lisa's shoulder, just like
4.
hurriedly looking between the two of them.
Okay, all right.
Other hand, 4.
Okay.
I'll roll sleight of hand if you want.
So he hit 4, the thing depressed, and you hear a shift. And you see a seam immediately within like 10-15 feet around the thing form, a seam where one wasn't before, and it starts to lift.
I quickly make sure I'm on top of whatever is going up with everyone else.
Yeah. Skoyle, let's see if she notices. Yeah, she does fine. She's like, and then jumps to it. This thing is going to go really fast. So have you guys jumped? Have you moved to it?
They were on it.
They were on
I
it?
thought we were on it.
You
They
were
were on
Okay.
it next to the console.
Got it. So then Skoyle was probably the only one who wasn't. That thing shoots up like a rocket. And whoosh, whoosh, you pass through the second floor, the third floor.
Do we see anything while we're passing?
It's going too fast. Like, just for some reason, somehow, it's going...
Are we like pushed down by gravity?
No. That's the weirdest thing.
No inertia?
No inertia is affecting you.
Okay.
And the platform doesn't feel like it's moving. Everything else is moving around you, and it almost... It's that effect that you have on tires where it's like, well, the tire's not driving backward.
But it looks like it's going backwards.
So it
when
looks
it's
like
moving.
the tower's just coming down to meet you, even though that can't be the case. This is a lift. It's lifting you. But because you're not affected by any inertia, and the platform doesn't shift, it doesn't jostle like any other lift might, Feder, it's a weird feeling. But you zip through those fast, and you find yourselves on the 4th floor. And the platform clicks into place, click, 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 and you blink. It's like a blink and you miss it thing. The seams completely disappear. And with a loud grinding and whirring sound, the walls surrounding you open at key intervals, and out slide metallic racks, on which hang hundreds upon hundreds of dead bodies, all of them charred or rotted, but none of them fully decomposed, as if they emerged from partial preservation within these walls, but from all angles, almost radial, the racks just meet you. Of all angles, the room is filled with corpses hanging on these racks.
Tashlin screams and drops to the floor.
Okay. And They hang by their wrists by custom metallic shackles, and a translucent tube connects from the metal rack to their chest and winds back
Do
into
those
the.
shackles look like the ones that we were all in the beginning?
Yeah, similar.
So there's not like a big boat here in water, I'm guessing.
No.
And I just scream, "Fuck!" And I'm just like just stomping around.
I started investigating these racks of bodies because
Before you move. This is Yusuf saying this. Before you move, give me a second.
okay,
So I'm going to hit Divine
see,
Sense.
Feder, that's how we do things. We pause before we hit
I
buttons.
just had to know, okay?
Stop talking, everyone. I need to concentrate. Give me a second. So I'm going to hit down Divine Sense.
Okay. That's,
Everything within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover, I can feel. Checking on,
if it's like undead or.
first of all, I need to know if this is affected by a hallow, which also counts for unhallow because it's just the reverse of the spell, and the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
There's nothing that is undead or living. You sense a few different tiefling in amongst the bodies, but they're dead. Everything here is dead and gone. There's nothing to them. There's no one else here. The where the walls were, past them, you sense a magical, expanded storage.
Okay.
So you sense that there's something there.
So I'm sensing
Define the
out
space.
past 60 feet, or I'm sensing out past whatever the room of this size of this room is,
Yeah.
out to 60 feet. But
It makes a lot more sense that, you sense that more bodies just continue that way. So things could slide. You sense that there's a lot more bodies.
This is like the
past-
Monsters Inc. door selection
Yeah.
room, kind of.
Yeah, or the guns in the Matrix thing, and when they load up.
Got it.
Just racks upon racks.
Well, I
But
mean,
nothing is
Racks a
living.
baby. Baby's on racks.
now I know, so we can go back down. We can go
Don't
through this.
push anything.
Fine.
Stop.
All right.
Scoil curses. Fuck.
We're alone, as far as I can tell.
She sees a few just random elves and touches them gently, just says her prayer.
I'm going to start looking. You said there's tubes.
Yeah, there's tubes that coil around the rack and split and into each of person's chest like a sort of a siphon.
Can I kind of follow these tubes? Where do they go after they've been in their chests? What is...
They head up to the top part of the rack and then split out and go down the metal hang where the people have their wrist hanging from, the main metal bar. They just coil around that thing and go back.
And where's that going?
Just goes into the
Often to
past the wall,
Oblivion.
into the ether. Yeah, just
And is there anything in these tubes? What am I seeing?
they're dried out and empty.
Is there staining or anything?
I mean, some staining of, you see a little bit of red staining here, some other unidentified fluids that have dried out and all that.
I'm just gonna... Is there...
I look at Feder and I'm like, batteries?
Is there a body...
Possibly.
Can I just take one and kind of jiggle it loose, see, kind of palpate it, see where maybe it's coming from in the body?
Yeah. The particular body you had, the chest cavity has been pretty rotted through, so the tube pops out with a bit of a and
Can I see, through the chest cavity, where was it at and stuff? Was it
It's-
coming from the heart, the tum?
kind of near the heart, a little off. And it's weird. It's not like they were trying to siphon anything out from the heart. But in your studies, there's always been talk of where the soul resides. And you sense that if someone were to guess where the soul would be, the theory is that it's somewhere near the heart, off of it. And it seems like that's just the approximation. Trying to siphon, if we wanted to siphon soul.
Like a key point
Yeah.
center
Yeah.
or something.
You sense generally off center from heart, or off from heart, close to center.
Can I kind of smell it and look in the tube?
It smells awful and wretched, but
Was blood or
there's no more blood, but the body still is fairly moist. So anything that's been inside has been mostly drained out. There's still some muscle and tissue and all that, not completely rotted away or sloughed off. Just
But the tube itself wasn't a vehicle for blood. Can I tell what the tube was transporting?
whatever it was aiming for. So it ended up getting some of the blood and viscera. But if it was trying to hit the soul spot, the spot where the soul might be, that seems to be what it was really going for. The rest was just extra.
Do we have any?
As if you're doing plasma, and it's like we got to separate the plasma from the blood, and all that.
I know we do a little bit more mercurial. Like it's a lot of like souls are distilled into coins or stones or something like that. But does this technology look like anything from the 9 hells that I would be aware of?
It looks.
I'm gonna roll for.
Yeah. Go ahead, roll history for it.
13.
This is a more of a fringe method or fringe theory that is not widely accepted in the 9 as a way to siphon off. It's not perfect because of just sucking out the insides. Really tends to mess with that, and if the essence is tied to the flesh, that gets weird. So this is a much more rudimentary system. In its simplicity, it provides a much bigger shock of power.
Right.
So there's a chance for a better burst, a better just whammo versus getting into the coin and the other distillations from the 9.
A combustion engine versus like a lithium battery kind of thing. Yeah.
So this is a little bit more quick and dirty, but quick and dirty on a massive scale.
Quick and dirty and old, or quick and dirty and newer?
And dirty and within a couple hundred years.
Okay.
They were harvesting key.
Yeah, souls. It's I mean, we tend to do it more contractually, and then when the body expires, then we can get it between the planes and we can capture it in a bit more of a, well-stored manner. This is very crude.
This won't come out whole.
While they're talking, I'm going to lean down over Taz and just put my hand on her back and another one on her.
Oh, she's curled in a ball on the floor.
Yeah, that's
with
why
her,
I'm like
her hands behind her head, tucking her entire body in, rocking.
Okay.
And muttering under her breath.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of like cradling her and
and faintly you hear some weeping from Scoil in the distance as she finds another elf and a few more.
Yeah. I'll finally get my head out of my ass and come down and hey. What's going on? Are you okay? What's going on?
Was the elevator loud when we...
No.
I think we need to get off this floor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like want to hear what she's saying or if you're close enough or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of, as she's rocking, she's like, no, not again. No, not again. No, not again.
Taz.
Okay. Down her up.
Let's go back to 1. I just don't want to be surprised again. I don't think we need to be surprised again.
All right. Great. Fine. Sure. Yes. Okay. Fine. And I'll reach up.
Well, hang on before Scoil.
Yeah.
Come. We're gonna move again. Just be ready for it.
Okay. She moves
back
quicker.
on the platform.
For being someone grieving, she says her piece and is there pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit it.
We all good?
Yeah. Hit it 1.
I'll hit 1.
Okay. You hit 1 and again, the seam forms. Latch. Click. 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 Drop. And again, you don't feel the inertia. This doesn't feel bad against your stomach as you drop. And you find yourself back in that main nexus floor where you were before.
What did you mean, not again? Does this look like what happened at Adair? Is this...
No, not again. Not again. No.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, on her?
Yes.
Does she have to save against it?
Yeah, it's, let's see. This is, welcome to Dis, motherfuckers.
Your heritage power?
Yeah, this is a heritage power.
Heritage.
Detect Thoughts, Wisdom save of 14.
Okay. That would be a 20, dirty 20.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
You're unable to breach into her mind. It's
it's probably just you hear essentially the repeat of.
It's like a feedback loop of her saying that, and then the microphone picking that up, and then the speaker picking up the microphone of that, and it just becomes cacophonous, and you stop. You have to back out of the Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Oh, damn, that would have been so cool if I hadn't have made that save, because I had everything prepared for that.
I'm going to pull out...
Are you still on the floor?
Oh, yeah, she hasn't moved.
Right there with you, and I'm like, Tess, come on.
Can I just...
Nat 20 medicine check. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some incense.
Okay.
And light that and just kind of waft that into her and cover her ears.
Okay.
Just cover her ears.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna lay like 5 points into her through the back, just to try and like shock her out of it, like take away all the other senses or muddle them, so that trying to reset.
Focus, like a spiritual slap.
Yeah. That was a nat 20 on my medicine check.
Okay. If you want to contest against it, you can, or you can just accept
Spiritual defibrillator.
Yeah,
He's basically trying to defibrillate you and get you focused.
I would contest, considering like what you know of the background and everything like that. Would you say that I would have advantage, disadvantage at this? Because I feel like she's pretty deep in this. Like that
I would give you. If you're gonna really fight it, if you're gonna fight it, I would give advantage.
That was like fucking shocking for her.
Yeah.
So DC of a 20.
DC of a 20.
No. I got a 10 and a 5, so that would be an absolute.
Okay.
Okay.
So the shock does shake you a bit and hit you out of your reverie for however long, maybe not much. It just, you're in the here and now for a brief moment.
Okay.
And it does help that you're not in that room anymore. There are no bodies here in this main nexus that you're in.
She is like weeping, and I am going to I'm like, the dignity in this. She is going to crawl off of the lift.
Okay.
All right. I'm just right there. I am like in like shitty boyfriend mode now, who has realized that he fucked up real bad. And I'm just like with you. I'm kind of letting you do your thing, but I'm like there with you the whole, hey.
What was that?
We came back down to the first floor.
We're back down.
I'm guessing, and it is strictly a guess from what Lisa found and what we were talking about. I think that was some type of, it looks like they mass sacrificed a bunch of people at once to get enough power to do whatever this thing did. I'm guessing for when it decimated the earth around it.
Yeah,
this is some type of machine.
That explains the ichor and the sadness.
If they would have set it off all at once, that's a shattering. That's I can't even comprehend that amount of power. Now I need you to, Taz. This is gonna be weird. Stay with us. We're here to help. Mm-hmm. We need you to. What happened? You said not again. What happened at Adair? What did you see? Was it a tower like this? Were there bodies?
There wasn't there wasn't a tower, but there was a lot of bodies. Too many bodies.
Okay. Was it just the people going about their lives? Were they held in some way in pens, or what happened right before?
I don't know. My mom just told me to run.
Okay, were you in town? Were you near town? I'm so sorry. I know this is hard.
We were at home. And something came. That's all I know. And I ran. And I hid.
Okay. Did you hear it? Did you feel it?
I can't think about that right now. Not again.
It's okay. It's okay. And I've just got my hands wrapped around her, and I'm trying to just bury her face into my chest and just hold her.
Okay.
It's all right.
And she just goes back to kind of like, no, not again.
You can learn a lot about a person by the way they deal with death. For us bullywugs, it's mundane, like breathing. For humans, it's oblivion. For the devils of the Nine, it's the fuel that drives their war machines and how they populate the blistered plains of Avernus. For Taslan, though, it's a reminder of home. Well, I hope you take these things to heart, for more death awaits our heroes in these demon days.